welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be seeing how much I can crochet in a day because I have some market prep I need to get done for a market, the first one being on the 1st of April. So I don't have much time left to prepare. And I do have a whole box of things, but you know, just cranking out that last little bit. And this is a typical weekend day for me. So I still have, you know, my kids around, but the man folk is here today, so he can help with them, of course. But it'll be like a typical day as far as I'll need to stop here and there for errands, to help with some stuff around the house, do the chickens, maybe run an errand or two. You know, don't really know what we have on the docket, but yeah. So anyway, let's get to it. So to start off market prep today, I started with a sunflower turtle. It's a pattern I got on Etsy. I only have one other turtle and it took a while to make, so I was looking for something that would maybe be a little faster. And I really liked this turtle because the shell was a sunflower. I don't remember the name of the seller, but all her patterns are turtles and the shells are various things. So there's an ice cream turtle and a sunflower turtle and a turtle with fruit slices as the shell. So that was a very cool shop and I did like this pattern. I don't know that I would make it for a market again because it was quite time consuming. I don't start project number 2 until the afternoon. It took 2 hours to do this, but it did come out very cute. I actually just checked, and correction, it took 3 hours to make this turtle. So it is definitely not ideal for market prep in my opinion. I have finished this little turtle It took me about 3 hours, so I probably would not make this again for a market, just because I wanted to sell something like this for 25-30 bucks, and it definitely took a lot longer than expected to be able to charge for that. But it's pretty cute. Apologies for the background noise and the last clip. That's what my house is like 24/7. We always have fish tanks going and the kids about, so it's actually quieter than it normally would have been. So this is me starting project number 2. I made a manatee. I definitely did not expect this project to come out that big either, but it did. Another quite time-consuming project that I'm not sure that I would make again for a market, but we'll see how it sells. I think it'll do well because I live in Florida, but you never know. Working on the manatee. It's been about an hour since I started. I started at like 1:40, but I actually stopped to eat like a late lunch. So all in all, I've probably been working on him 20, maybe 30 minutes. I will say it's coming out a lot larger than I had anticipated because I thought the entire thing was going to be about this length. And it's definitely not going to be that length. I have, let's see, I'm on row 8 and I have to get up to row 15 of just like rounds for the body. And then it looks like it goes to about round 33 in total. So I don't know why I thought it was going to be so short other than like the picture on the front of the pattern. But yeah, apparently this is going to be quite big. So it's another big project that I probably wouldn't do for another market because I think smaller, less expensive things tend to sell better. Not that this won't sell, but it's a lot easier to sell, you know, a couple of $5, $10 items than it is to sell, you know, a couple $20, $30, $40 items. But I live in Florida, so manatee is kind of like on brand for where we live. So I think someone will like them, but yeah, I just wanted to give a little update about where I am today. And here is our finished manatee. It probably took about an hour and a half to do, and I do like how he came out. He's very cute, but that's just a little bit time consuming for a pattern for a market, I think. Then this next project I'm not totally in love with either. I only have a clip of the finished project. Yeah, the finished project. I don't have any clips of me working on him, but the color change kind of made him come out a little bit messy, so I'm not totally in love with them. And then I started project number 4, which I am very pleased with how this one came out. It was a part of a pattern bundle with the skunk, so I will say that the way this possum came out, I think it's very cute, and that alone for like the price of the pattern makes it worth it to me, because I do really like how this possum came out. It's very cute. And it's a decent sized, and it didn't take that long, so this is more what I tend to look for in a pattern for a market. I want something that I could do in like an hour, bang it out, get it done. The size of it's good because I use blanket yarn, so I could tack a, $10, $15, maybe $20 price tag on it. Someone will buy it because it's cute and it only took like an hour to make. So obviously bigger things can still sell, more time consuming things can still sell, but I'm out here trying to make some money. So I do think it's a lot easier to sell somebody on a cute $5 item than it is a cute $30 item, especially because I tend to do decent-ish size events. So there's, a lot of people around. Sometimes there's even other crochet artists there, and not everybody prices the same way. Some people very, very, very underprice their things. So it's harder to convince somebody to buy, what I consider a fair price when someone else is selling something, large for like $5, $10, which is exactly what happened at my last market. I actually had a set of preteen girls price shame me because this girl bought a pink flamingo for $10, and it was cute, but it was like a foot tall for $10, and I'm over here with like a 6-inch tall toy made with blanket yarn for $20, and then my hairy otter is like $35 because doing all the color changes on the scarf takes for freaking ever. So she's like, are you really gonna spend, $20 on that when I just got this one for $10? You want to blow all your money on one store? And I'm like, okay, good looking out for your friend, bro, but like kind of hurts my feelings. Also, this clip might look weird. I'm not like just waving around the head of the possum. In front of me on the couch was where Zach was laying, so I was showing it to him. So it's not as weird as it looks. And now I'm asking him if he thought the eye placement was good, because sometimes it's hard to tell. And I have to make sure the eye placement is good before I put the backs on, especially because after I put the backs on, I like to burn down the post, so it's basically sealed in there. It can't come out. Sometimes I feel like on these projects with blanket yarn, if you pulled hard enough, it'll come out, because blanket yarn, I don't know, it just has more stretch to it. But on something made with worsted weight yarn, if you put them on and burn the backs on, you'd really have to go aggressively try to rip them out. And then I have considered doing a little dot of glue, putting the eye on, then burning the back on, because I like to use safety eyes, but they do sketch me out. And I have a sign that I post at markets saying that these toys are not for anybody under 3 years old, because they're just not safe enough for that. I would not trust my infant with them, but I will sell them to older kids that know, enough not to try to eat the eyes. So this is a clip from the next morning. I ended up not being able to finish the possum before going to bed, so I did finish it up the next morning, but I included it in this video because this was before my start time of 10 a.m. So technically in a 24-hour period, I also got this done. And ignore me adjusting my shirt. You know, it happens. This next part of the video really cracks me up because of how it looks on film. I'm essentially putting stuffing where stuffing should not go, but it really cracked me up to like see it on camera. I'm like, oh, that looks weirder than I intended it to. And here I am stuffing its bum again. It's just very funny to me. See, look how cute he is. I love him so much. I started to embroider the nose and I was like really unhappy with how it was looking already, so I decided I was going to cut it out and give it another go. If you crochet, which I'm sure you do, you know how like embroidery of facial features and things can go. Sometimes it takes some trial and error to get to look the way you want it to look. Does anybody else feel like their concentration phase is like super awkward, or is that just me? So while I was finishing them up, my daughter thought she was going to try to change where my laptop is plugged in at and put it on the other side of me, but she can't do that even though the cord is like right in front of the couch. So she dropped it and gave up. And then here in a second, I'm asking her what she thinks, if she likes them, because I really like how he came out, but I always ask for feedback on my stuff. And look how cute that little tail is. All in all, I really like this pattern. And there you have it. I was able to crochet 4 things in a 24-hour period. So not quite a day, but still technically a day, because I did finish up the possum on the next morning, but it was still less than 24-hour period, so I'm counting it. Sorry, our neighbor borrowed our mower and he's coming back with it, so if you hear that, that's my bad. But yeah, I don't consider it a lot because there are days where I'm able to knock out 16 to 20 of something if it's like a small 20-30 minute pattern, and I can like work from like start to finish on the day and just like bang 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 get them out. But for being 4 relatively large items, I don't think it's that bad. It could be worse. And they were all fairly cute, except I'm not a huge fan of the skunk. I do think it's like a cute pattern, definitely a cute idea, but I don't know if it's maybe just my color change, but it left like little holes in the white, so maybe next time I do the pattern, I'll crochet the entire item as one solid black piece, and then crochet like a little stripe to go down it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how that would work. But I do know that I'm just not a super huge fan of how it came out. But that was a pattern pack that had a skunk, which I made, the possum, which I made, and a raccoon. So for the possum alone, I think it was worth the price of that pattern. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you guys like crochet content, please consider subscribing to my channel. And liking this video, and leave a comment below and tell me how long you guys have been crocheting, and if you're doing any market prep. That would really help out my channel, and I'd like to start growing a crochet community. So if you guys would consider that, I'd really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one.